Good afternoon, it's Debbie Evans here, and today I'm reading from Book 5, The Secret Adventures of Rolo, Phoenix and the Dragonling, and this is one of Rolo's dog blogs. This is all about Rolo in Cornwall and where he rescues a seal. The following Saturday we set off after lunch and drove through torrential rain and high winds to the far southwesterly tip of the toe that makes up the county of Cornwall. Sennan Cove is just before you get to Land's End. Presumably, if we go all the way to Land's End, we'd fall off the island. But I kept my furry thoughts to myself. We couldn't have picked worse weather to travel in. At least the roads are empty. All the holiday makers have gone home after the Easter break, the smiley lady said brightly. The floppy-haired boy stared out of the passenger side window at the racing raindrops and water-filled gutters. He didn't look very enthusiastic about our mini break. When we arrived at our hotel in Sennan Cove, we were greeted warmly by James on reception, despite the terrible rain. From the safety of my cage in the boot, I watched the humans that I love so much struggling with our luggage. I don't travel lightly. Towel, brush, food bowl, water bowl, food, bedding, extendable lead, dog treats, blanket. Once they'd unpacked, we went into the bar for a fish and chip supper. Both were exclaiming the fish tasted so fresh as if it had just jumped out from the sea. I attempted a cough to remind them I was there and was eventually given a bit of batter and a few chips from their plates. After dinner it was still blowing a hoolie and no one particularly wanted to go outside, least of all me, but apparently the smiley lady thought I needed a brief walk along the promenade before bedtime. The floppy-haired boy declined, pleading tiredness, so the smiley lady donned her plastic coat and buttoned it tightly, covering her head with a big hood. They hadn't thought to bring my hated bright green raincoat, so I went out as I was and nearly got blown from one side of the pavement right across the road to the sea wall. The waves were lashing and crashing, almost coming over the top, and the sea below was foaming in anger, tossing anything in its path onto the pebbly beach. We didn't hang about. I sent a few P-mails. You know by now that's my expression for going for a wee, and we turned around to return to the dry and cosy sanctuary of the apartment. Something on the beach caught my eye. Whatever it was squirming among the rocks where it had been flung by the vicious tide. I couldn't make out what it was, and the smiley lady was oblivious to its distress. I sat down firmly on the wet pavement. All my instincts told me that the living thing on the beach was in trouble. "Come on, Rolo, it's raining cats and dogs." The smiley lady wasn't smiling and kept pulling at my lead, my harness going up round my ears, but I wouldn't budge. A man was looking out from his window above the Old Success Inn. He opened the window and shouted down, asking her if everything was all right. "Rolo's gone into Eeyore mode," she shouted above the noise of the sea, holding her plastic hood tightly around her face. I just kept pulling. "Hold on, I'm coming down," shouted the man, who I recognised as James from the hotel reception. He wasted no time in running downstairs and appeared in the doorway pulling on a big oilskin coat as he crossed the road to join us. I was still sat in silent protest, staring in the direction of the sea. I gave a few woofs to get the point across. James spotted it at once. "It's a baby seal," he shouted. "Good boy, Rolo. It must have been washed up by the sea and has probably become frightened and disorientated." He jumped over the sea defence wall and struggled across the stones, battling the wind and slipping and sliding on the wet pebbles in an effort to reach the maroon baby seal. I saw him reach in his pocket for his mobile phone and then heard him giving our location. Within 10 minutes, an emergency vehicle with a flashing light arrived at the scene, and 2 volunteers from Maritime Rescue were there, quickly assessing the situation. They gently wrapped the frightened seal pup in towels and put it in some kind of carry case, and then sped off into the night in their vehicle with their bewildered cargo safely stowed, lights a flashing. "What a rescue mission," enthused James as we went back into the bar to dry off. The humans had hot drinks. I was given a sausage as a reward, brought from the kitchen. The next morning at breakfast, James came over to tell the smiley lady that the baby seal was fine and had just been successfully returned to a much calmer sea. His mother had been sighted and they were reunited. Everyone said I had saved the seal pup's life. I felt very pleased with myself and delighted to be rewarded with another cooked sausage, all in a day's work. Hashtag Rolo saves a seal. Hashtag Rolo the hero. So that's all for today. I'll be back same time tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Enjoy the rest of a sunny afternoon. Bye.